and welcome back. Welcome to this week's episode. My name is Carolyn Chebaro and welcome to My Simple Life. If you're new here, I'm glad that you have arrived. If you have watched me before, though, you know that I love a challenge. I love pushing myself to do something that I normally wouldn't do. Because if I don't, I find that I get into a rut and things become just blah and humdrum and there's no adventure. There are two different types of challenges that I have created for myself. And one is on the physical side, and that is for me, it's swimming. I push myself swimming or really any sort of exercise. The other side, the other challenge is more deeper, and that's within my head. And it's pushing myself to understand different types of life and different mindsets, all involved, both types of challenges for growth. Because I believe that it's so important that we continue to grow, that we don't become stagnant. Because if we become stagnant, we become boring. And who wants to be boring? So if this is what you're facing at the moment, if you think, oh gosh, I'm in a rut here, I need to move on, I need a change, well then this video is for you. So I suspect that we all will agree that life is so much more exciting when we are doing things that we love and we're surrounded with people that we love and that we're challenging ourselves, we're pushing ourselves, we're not in a rut. And when that happens, you have like this twinkle in your eye and you look at things a little bit differently. You have a skip in your step, and the possibilities of life at any age are just open to you. You have a broader outlook on your life. And I saw this twinkle in someone's eye when I interviewed them for a slot in my membership site. The slot is called Extraordinary Woman. And I interviewed a woman who at age 70 made a massive change in her life. I won't tell you too much, but this picture maybe, or this picture here, might explain the massive change that this woman did. And this really prompted me, my interview with her really prompted me to really look at this idea of challenging ourselves even further. And this challenge quite often means change to the humdrum life that you're leading. And it can be very, very scary. This prompts the title of this video, a four-letter word, and that's fear. And if there is one thing that I have learned that will hold us all back from moving forward, for taking that challenge to making a change, it's fear. And the nasty, nasty thing about fear is that so many of us are unaware that we are living a life in fear because it's just ingrained in us year after year and decade after decade, and it becomes the norm. And we don't face any challenges. We don't make any changes because fear is holding us back. And this is so sad. This is what I want to get you to think about. Are you fearful? Fear, I have found, comes in many, many different forms. It's this whisper in your head, this gremlin, as I always say, that sits on this shoulder of mine. But it comes in many different forms, and there are words that whisper in your mind, oh, I can't do that. What if it goes wrong? What if I make a wrong decision? What will my family think? How will I justify what I'm doing? And so I may stay where I am, and I won't make any change, and I won't challenge myself. This is so sad because you don't grow. And what's more is that you become stagnant. And you become, dare I say, boring. And maybe if you're lonely, you become even lonelier because you won't take a chance on anything because you are fearful. It's interesting about this fear thing because you also have to be really, really aware of someone else's fear because you can attach that to your mindset. I remember, and here's a story, I remember years ago, I was invited to go for a holiday to the Middle East, and to Beirut in Lebanon. And a family member was very, very fearful for me because, well, it was the Middle East. And I went there at a time when individuals holding an American passport, well, they shouldn't go. And I went a different way into the country, so to speak. If I had listened to someone else and picked up on someone else's fear, I would not have experienced that in my life. And it was a great experience. I really, really enjoyed it. And it taught me a lot. So the moral of that short story is that you have to really, really be aware of others' vibrations and their fears that are presented to you. You have to really be sensitive to them. You cannot stop yourself from moving forward because of fear. I invite you to really, really consider changes that you can make in your life and challenges, no matter how big, no matter how small, something that's going to allow you to move forward, something that's going to make you feel good and feel excited and feel alive. Because life doesn't stop at any particular age, and we all have to grow. Earlier in this video, I mentioned a woman who really, really inspired me to present this option to you, this thought process to you. She, at age 70, made a massive change in her life. The whole interview can be found in my online membership, the club, and I will put a link to that club in the information box below. I also have interviewed a woman who's 67 years old and has just finished her 100-mile marathon. I think she's done 2 or 3 of them. And she started running at age 50, so another extraordinary woman. But I encourage you really, really to look inward to see if there's something that's holding you back. Hey, we have arrived here and we have faced many, many challenges and overcome so much. And we really have to reflect upon what we have done in our lives and what we have achieved. I think it's so important that we recognize this, not only for ourselves, because of course that will make us feel good. And you know my theory on feeling good, because when you feel good, you spread that. But as an example to those that are behind us, so that they will see, no matter what age we are and no matter where we are in life, we can make a change and we can make a challenge and we can overcome so much. I am challenging myself to make a big change, and over the next weeks I am going to reveal what that challenge is. And I would love to know what your challenge is and what you're going to do to make your life easier and to live your own simple life. That's it for this week. It's a wrap. I wish everyone a good week. Stay well, stay safe. Please say prayers for Ukraine. Toodles, everyone.